Wait a minute. Okay, I see a mouse cursor. I'm trying to pause the game. I'm trying to pause it. Maybe this will help. Maybe it won't. Yes, pausing the game. Okay, something just went beyond awful wrong with my computer, so I'm going to see if I can possibly open up my webcam. Whoo, baby. Okay, so, well, it looks like you will be able to see me. I might have to cut this cast a little short because my computer has almost ceased to function. Ugh, that's a little bit unusual. So, hey, I'm going to make sure the stream is still actually running. You're probably seeing me in a slideshow style thing, but unfortunately, I might have to make actually sure that I can continue to cast. So that's an extraordinarily awesome way, and what's really fun, because you actually get the chance to see my face stopping. Yep, there it stopped. Now it stopped. Hey, I'm back. And my mouse cursor that I don't even recognize at all anymore, so I might have to do a little bit of a restart action in a moment. Hey, if you're getting chopping, it's actually my hardware locking up. It has nothing to do with you. It's totally on my end. So I'm going to see if my mouse cursor is behaving. No, not at all. Wow, anytime I move the mouse, it locks up. So hey, I will happily take some questions while we got to end that early. To be honest, I will just let you know that at the end of that replay, it was a pretty typical ending. It actually is very, very, very close to completion. Huck just builds up another force and walks in and eventually begins running over his opponent. So once I can manage to get my mouse to the IRC window, as it is a total slideshow on my screen, then I will definitely be sure to take some questions. Why is my computer completely dying? Now, I'm actually going to inspect around my desktop. I'm going to try to find... Now, where did my mouse cursor go? I literally cannot find my mouse cursor anywhere here. You know what? I'm just going to have G4MR, who actually is the kind admin gamer. If you could send me the questions, I have your window open, so I can take those. So, of course, this bodes very well for the rest of the evening, the fact that these sorts of things happen. You know, I'm going to blame it on the 4th of July, because my power just completely tanked yesterday. So, it kind of shut down cold in the middle of my computer, and it's been acting a little bit funky since then. So, gamer, if you'd be so kind as to paste me some questions, that would be great. That would be great. In other exciting news, I recently got the chance to install Heroes of Might and Magic 2, which is one of the best games in the universe. Yes. Oh god, that game... I started playing that game before I got into Starcraft, so it has like a special place in my heart. Alright, let's take this question from Derpy, who says, Dear Day 9, why don't protosses ever use motherships ever? Also, gamer, you're pasting a lot of questions to me. I literally can't control the screen, so it's like scrolling up and down. So if you could just like paste one and then just wait a little bit, and just like paste another one, wait a little bit. Sorry to be so inconvenienced, but I don't have a mouse. I have no control over my computer. Ha ha ha. Okay, so why don't we see a mothership? So there's 2 reasons. Three. I'll count them as I go. There are some number of reasons why this is the case. First of all, just the way players evolve. I actually answered this question kind of similarly on my YouTube channel, on youtube.com/day9tv, where I have a Q&A going there where you can post questions and I can answer it. Someone was asking about the late game units, and the first big answer I said is that the way players tend to evolve is to stick with what works now, instead of trying to say, well, I'm winning all my games. Excuse me, is there any way for me to win all my games harder, you know? I mean, for instance, when Brood War came out, players, like Terran players, literally would just go like 2 barracks Marine medic. And when that wasn't working, they would go 3 barracks Marine medic. And they would go 4 barracks Marine medic. They just kept going Marine medic. This is actually against Protoss that they would do this. And when people started to get Reavers and Templar, people would say, well, I guess I just have to have already won by that point. And people did not want to move away from the strategy that worked for them, because why would they? So when you get to the circumstance where players have good unit mixes in the mid-game, they're feeling confident with their play, why would they go for any sort of other change? Why would they try to worry about motherships or carriers or all these stuff? I'm winning! Hey! So after a while, players are going to figure out how to just stay alive on both sides. For instance, in this game, we see that the Zerg and the Protoss are just still alive after a while. And that's when players are going to start saying, man, I really need to start seeing if I can maybe get a mothership to swing the advantage in my advantage, to swing the advantage in my direction. And the second thing that I would say, that reason people aren't using motherships, is that it's hard to get all the buildings out for a mothership, and I think that this Phoenix play is a great way to do it, because you already have the Stargate up. You're already almost on the way to a mothership, so you just, bam, build a fleet beacon and your mothership's en route. If, say, for instance, I was going Stalker Colossus, I think it would be a horrible idea to suddenly try to get a mothership, because it's just so hard to try to go down that path. You'd have to have a really good plan for it, and really good plans take long times to surface. So I wouldn't necessarily force it into your play. I would be aware of it, but as long as you're trying to think about the mid-game and winning in those earlier stages, then you will always eventually get to these situations where it's pretty obvious what you need to do. Now, if I could find my mouse, I can tab. Where? Do I even own a mouse anymore? Hey, I found my cursor. Hey, sweet. I see it. I see it. Oh. Whoa. 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 You know, I might even just, like, unplug my mouse. I don't know if it's just because my mouse is busted or something like that. So, someone asked, do I get paid for wearing that awesome Dr. Pepper shirt? No, I actually bought this in Target. How cool am I? So here's a great question by Betafoil86. Would it have been better for Huck to transition to Colossus after the Phoenix? So, the reason why people like Phoenixes plus Colossi is that you already have the Phoenix, so you have this anti-air capacity that you need whenever you're going Colossus. Most people get the Stalkers, but you know, if you went Phoenix and it was effective, and then you get a few Colossi, you can go like Colossus Zealot Phoenix and be okay. So that's a reason to do it. The thing that makes me leery of going Colossus is that although they function pretty similarly to Templar, the Templar come out a lot faster and are cheaper, so you can actually get them up pretty early on. So for instance, if you go for Phoenix and then you get Templar, you're pretty much defended. If you go for Phoenix and then you try to start going Colossus, you need a lot bigger of a timing window where Zerg is not attacking you, and it's kind of hard to actually guarantee that. So I'm actually going to take 2 more questions because my computer is about to die. This is going to be really, really difficult to get to. I'm trying to actually figure out a way to get to my recording screen over here on Ustream. Actually, let me just take my hand off the taking my hand off the keyboard. Can I tab to the stop record button? I think so. I think I can do it. Okay, so I'll be able to stop this recording in a moment. So let me alt-tab over to Gamer, who's continuing to post questions. Good little problem-solving action here. So, oh yeah, here's a great question by Arovian. How should Zerg react to early and constant Phoenix harass? Should you make spore crawlers? Now, here's the thing to note. How many times during this cast did you hear me say Phoenixes are really hard to transition out of? It's really hard to do a follow-up. And that's because Phoenixes are a big, expensive investment, so they kind of have to do lots and lots and lots of damage for it to be okay. If you try to not do this, then you will not be in good shape, right? You will obviously die. So from Zerg's point of view, even if the Phoenixes do some damage, you can still be okay. Notice how much damage this Zerg habit suffered from Huck's Phoenixes, and still the game is going on. Literally, it's going on, because I can't continue watching because my computer's exploding. And he was able to stay alive just because he was calm and got a lot of Hydralisks up very, very quickly. And that is really, I think, the most effective way to deal with it. You could get spore crawlers up. I'd say that is an option, but there needs to be some plan that coincides with it. So, for instance, you could go layer and Hydralis and stay alive with just Hydralis, like we saw Habit do, like we saw Idra do against Noni in the HDH. Or you could make spore crawlers and get at your evolution chamber, start upgrading +1, then you don't get the layer, and you get roaches out really early, and you try to push with the roaches and some queens with transfuse. Now we're starting to develop good ways to actually have a coherent plan. It shouldn't just be, should I just get spore crawlers? Because yeah, that'll get them to back off, but I just don't think it's as big a deal if you're just getting harassed and if you're losing some stuff, because they are investing a lot in the harassment. So I will take exactly one more question here. So here we go. Here's a great question by Ramon Dark, who says, why don't you see players building more static defense to defend against harassing air units? And that's because it's actually two reasons. One is, why make the static defense if I can just have the units to stop him anyways, you know? Because if I make two cannons here to perfectly defend from Phoenixes, and you can get in from this right side angle and you can kill off those units, like, you know, if you build two cannons by one guy